let's cut across to IBM. IBM fired 8,000 employees to make way for AI, and then they did something that none expected. In fact, exactly what we expected. They rehired all those 8,000 people that they laid off, some the same, many different people for different roles. But at least they've done it. Most companies now are going to be looking at the same situation very soon. But let me tell you IBM's story. Back in 2023, IBM said about 7,800 back office roles, mostly in HR, could be automated within 5 years. And that's what they did. The company stopped hiring for those jobs and introduced an AI assistant called AskHR to handle all their basic HR roles and duties like employee queries, payroll, leave requests, all of that. By 2024, AskHR had processed over 11 million requests and could answer nearly all routine questions without any human help. Employees initially weren't happy, and also we hear HR satisfaction dropped, the score of it. But later, the scores improved after the performance of that AskHR app improved. AskHR works on a hybrid model. Bots handle repetitive tasks while humans deal with sensitive or complex cases. So instead of long-term job losses, IBM ended up rehiring. Basically, a lot of their workforce came back on board for different roles, shifting workers into new roles like software development, marketing, sales, where human skills mattered the most. So some of their own HR employees, they profiled them and hired many more new people for new roles that needed human skills. CEO Arvind Krishna has admitted that AI replaced the work of only a few hundred HR employees, but not all. The savings that the company had through that AskHR app helped the company create many more new roles that required human judgment, creativity, personal connection, and whatnot. So this is really some hope that creates within the IT industry, where people are being laid off left, right, and center in the name of AI. And now we hear, like IBM, many companies are looking to rehire for different roles where human intelligence matters the most. That's the big story here. AI is replacing routine jobs, but creating new ones that did not exist before, like AI trainers and data ethicists. Even as companies like Duolingo or customer service firms test bots, they find people still want a human touch. Even if HR jobs are being replaced, people within the company itself are not happy with speaking to bots as much as they are happy with speaking to a person. IBM's experiment shows automation works best when it empowers people and not replaces them. The lesson is, let AI handle the boring stuff, let humans handle what machines can't. And that's empathy, imagination, strategy, and whatnot. Now, that said, amid growing global adoption of AI, IBM has announced a fresh round of layoffs, cutting what it calls a low single-digit percentage of its global workforce before the end of the year. So do expect IBM to lay off nearly at least 2,700 jobs. That's what they say. Around 2.7 lakh employees that they have worldwide, and they're going to lay off about 2,700 of them within the company all across the world. The company says some US roles will be affected, though overall employment will remain steady. The move, IBM says, is part of its plan to rebalance resources towards AI-driven cloud services and higher margin businesses. In fact, the World Economic Forum estimates 92 million jobs could be displaced by 2030. But now we understand, at least with the example of IBM, that new ones can be created. The challenge now is to help workers to become more equipped, to get additional skills, to be more interactive, because that personal human touch is what will give you your edge. Let's quickly bring in our guests on board. Kanish Gaur, who's a tech expert, founder, India Future Foundation. Thanks very much, Kanish. Your quick take, Kanish, on what you think of IBM rehiring all those jobs that they laid off. Same people, different people, but at least 8,000 odd jobs were created that never existed. The roles didn't exist. Now they've created it, and that the company is also growing, and jobs are also being created at the same time. While they're laying off 2,700 people, they've also added the workforce.
Thank you for bringing me in. See, this reinforces the trend that major tech firms are shifting workforce towards a composition, which will include fewer generalized roles but more roles aligned with AI, cloud computing, and high value consulting. You would have also seen companies like OpenAI shifting to high value consulting. So, high value consulting is a new work stream which creates a requirement for reskilled workforce which is strategically aligned not only to meet internal business objectives but outside business goals as well. While IBM hasn't published region wise details, the global cut at IBM, I think, is a ripple effect on how talent deployment needs to be done both onshore and offshore. So you will see more structured roles coming out. You would see large workforce reorganization, right? In terms of managing skills, retention, contractual obligations, and taking care of regulatory requirements because AI is also bringing in a lot of regulatory requirements in terms of movement of data, in terms of how data is stored, transmitted, and how privacy is safeguarded when AI comes into the picture. So today, the IBM's pivot reinforces that enterprises are redefining what value talent means to them and focusing on high cognition, innovative driven roles rather than pure play, skill based execution roles.
I think that's just a ray of hope, and we're looking forward and upward. That's that. Thanks very much for joining us on that.